All right, so what are we looking at today?
So we are looking at JFrog software supply chain platform. So what you are seeing right now is our UI component of it. So if you look at here, Artifactory, Xray, package catalog, distribution, and the pipelines. So these are all the different components we have part of the platform that can manage your binaries, and then you can take it from end to end. So the moment you commit your code, started doing the build, so you have a JFrog pipelines to take your source code from your source code repository and compile it, and then bring it into Artifactory. Once the binary is in Artifactory, then you have our software supply chain tool called Xray. Pick it up, scan it for your third-party binaries, vulnerabilities, and then provide that assistance for you to remediate those packages. So once you have that packages are remediated, then you are ready to go into the next stages from dev to QA to prod through our release management cycle. Once you have all your components are ready to be distributed to some of your internal teams or external teams, even maybe for your runtime containers, you can take it through our distribution services. So those are all the different components we have it here. And then in the distribution side, there are many use cases we do solve. If we have internal teams sitting in different parts of the globe where they need the binaries in the different formats, maybe access control could be playing a role there, saying that okay, that the far-off remote team doesn't need to have full-time read-write access, but I just need to have that the binaries to be in your far-off locations. You can have a different deployment over there, and then decide whether you want to have both read-writes in your main JPD versus that second JPD, or you wanted to have a lean version of Artifactory where you just need only the read-only access. So we do that use case get solved through that. Let's assume that you have a use case where you have multiple teams, different parts of the globe. They want a collaborative environment, having everybody checked in, checked out. You wanted to have a single source of truth for your binaries. You should be able to do that as well. Through that. And the final thing is if you're having IoT devices in the field from end to end, the moment you checked in your code, Artifactory picks it up, manages those binaries, Xray scans it, goes through the release bundle cycles, and then you can use our JFrog Connect to deploy it to the IoT devices. It is just not only the binary management of your IoT devices, even you should be able to manage the IoT devices itself, like any kind of software upgrades, or maybe shutting down, running the scans, maybe getting the logs, and then troubleshooting any kind of the device management aspects. Like you could be having a high CPU, high things. So there are several dashboards here to help that process is remediated. So like we said, we cover end to end, starting from the moment you commit your code, from there all the way to the customer side.
Wow. So you have multiple checkpoints along the way.
Exactly. The multiple checkpoints, evidences are all there. If you have a legal or a compliance requirement that you need to meet, you need to extract the information, share it with your partners. We have software bill of materials, we have build infrastructure. There are many things you can get it from us and then share it with your partners.
That's interesting. Because I guess there would be some countries that have different export compliance laws. You can't use certain packages.
Yes, exactly. So some of the countries have a data issue, but data compliances. So you cannot have your data getting exported from European Union to the US side of the fence. So definitely you wanted to keep the binaries there. So that is where we are suggesting to have your second or maybe in the third JFrog platform implementation in those countries, and then have your binaries, the data together to get us one single entity and manage them.
Yeah, that's really neat. And then so you're saying at that for the IoT devices too, they can go directly to there, they don't have to go back necessarily to a central repository. That can all be regionalized, so it kind of probably cuts down.
Correct, yes. So if you're, let's assume that you have IoT devices in the field is you're somewhere in Europe somewhere, and then you have Artifactory getting centrally managed there. But before you take it to the binary to your IoT devices, you pass through our JFrog Connect, which can disperse the software to wherever that IoT device is in the field.
Yeah, I would guess there's going to be some field operations for that kind of stuff, or remote locations, not very good internet, so you don't want all your IoT devices to constantly pull. At least you can centralize some of that stuff.
I'm sorry, say again one more time.
So let's say you're on the field, let's say you're at a mine site or something, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe the mine site only has a satellite connection, so you don't want all the IoT devices constantly talking out the satellite connection because limited bandwidth.
Correct, yeah. So in that situations, we do support that kind of air gap distribution.
Yeah.
So you can have your artifact inside Artifactory, and then you can export that to an external device, and then take it to the field, and then implement them in that IoT devices. So if they are not able to talk to that internet, so
yeah,
that is
cool.
also possible.
And you were talking about teams too, like so teams can have maybe access control based
Yes,
on like certain
correct.
things.
Yeah,
that you can
so
access?
we do have a feature called access moderation. So you can manage all your security entities like the users, the groups, the permission targets, and the access token in one central locations. And then these far off sites could be having the propagated security entities to their instances, and then they can take that and then use it based on that control they have. Either they have that read capability or the write capability, depends upon what you set in your main JPD, propagates there.
Yeah, super cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for the demo today.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.